Hey guys, it's Rachel Castile, and today I want to talk about being sleep last in OP, objective personality, and how I've begun to become more balanced and intentional about incorporating that in my life. My OP type is double masculine ESTP, SETI, consume, play, blast, sleep. And I was officially typed by Dave in 2020 of like July of 2020. So right at exactly like 4 years ago. And we had a hour-long phone call that we actually got to talk through, like just him getting more clarity on my type. And it was really, really awesome. We got to talk. And so I sent him 2 videos to begin with. He watched those, and then we had our scheduled phone call. And yeah, so looking at myself being consume, play, then blast, then sleep, the clarity on sleep was honestly from it being the thing that was missing. The other ones were clearly in my life, and but the sleep processing is something that I am actually pretty balanced in. And for me, what that looks like is intentional, like meditation, and living in a meditative state throughout the day. Like I've learned to sustain that more and more, which helps me to not live like addicted to the saviors of consume and play. That even while doing consume, play things, not always, but I'm learning how to sustain this sleep state as well, where I'm being informed as well. In terms of, so breaking that down a little bit. So sleep for me, a dominant sleep person might see sleep differently, but for me, it's a place of like receiving wisdom, strategy, just kind of sitting and waiting. That's the best way to describe it. Like, well, the reason I say meditation is because it is a place of waiting and learning to live, that what I do is led by like direction and waiting. So I live a very active lifestyle. Like I'm an Uber driver and I do that full time and I'm all over the place. I lately have been driving a lot. I've been driving probably like 10 to 12 hours a day. I go to Houston, Texas, which is about like an hour and a half, an hour-ish from where I live, and I drive in Houston a lot. So I'm always meeting different people, and I just find like this flow state in driving and in the things that come with that, and keeping my car organized and clean and yeah, presentable, keeping it smelling good, things like this, and talking with people. But yeah, so dominantly, I'm always consuming, being in different places, consuming, just the conversations, what people are talking about, the play energy of interaction, and the pinging back and forth comes very natural to me. I love discussion. I love just hearing people's stories, their journey, like that aspect of being an Uber driver. I really enjoy, but literally the act of driving, I really enjoy just driving the car and being able to navigate new areas and to do it well and learn from my mistakes, and like that ever evolving learning from my experiences that I get as an Uber driver. I like that. And then blast, I blast whenever it's relevant, whenever something that I know I can add to whoever I'm speaking to. Like as a life coach, I really love being able to blast in the context of coaching. Now, outright teaching, like really making YouTube videos, blasting and like having a topic and blasting on a specific topic is a little bit unnatural in the sense where like whenever I'm coaching and I see like the relevance of something with a particular person or audience, then it's like, oh, just I blast to them. I'll just blast. Because I see the need in front of me. I see the person and the relevance of the knowledge, and it brings it out of me. I love like the idea of Q&A would bring out blasting a lot easier than just outright just teaching to teach. And then for sleep, just looking at how active my life is, like I can spend my time on consume, play, and blast, and notice that I'm not really sleep processing or living in that place. Like just it's something I have to do consciously. I sometimes struggle to read books for that reason. Like I like video as a dominant like way to consume information, which still isn't sleep. Like I can almost think my sleep time is actually genuinely just different forms of consuming. Even my relationship with God to me is like consume. Because I like to just like soak in the presence of God. I like to be in a room with like frequency music on and the lights off, and like that helps me kind of go in a sleep state. So in a sense, like over the last like maybe 5-6 years, I've been very intentional like to have that like meditative time or to start my day just in this like meditative prayerful place, get a sense of clarity about what I want for the day, where I want to go, and then to order my life based on that. So also as an ESTP, this is probably relevant in terms of me being SE first and then NI last. So yeah, the sleep has a lot to do with the NI for me. So how I've gotten balanced has to do with being an ESTP too. I'm sure how it's very NI related to me. But yeah, getting a sense of like what I'm learning in a season of my life, what type of things that I engage in, how am I going to grow from it? What do I gain from it? Like what am I getting out of being an Uber driver right now? How is it stretching me? How is it developing my character, my heart, and just a lot of different things like that. I can see like, okay, the NI of what this season is doing is teaching me these different things. So then I engage and I focus and I lock in on like the follow through of the discipline to drive. I don't have a boss. I am my own boss in that sense, like to engage and to be present for those lessons and to be shaped by what I'm walking through. So yeah, let's see. Yeah. This is somewhat birthed out of a comment that I got too. Like I've been talking, like just processing this, and I went back and listened to my conversation with Dave too. So that was really cool. I hadn't heard it in 4 years, but I had a YouTube comment around like what my OP type was. And then also, that this person didn't really discern, or they were like, I can't see you being sleep last at all. And it just got me thinking about it. And this is also another trait of me being like double feminine on the inside. I have feminine TI, feminine NI. So like the new thing coming in related to that just had me like think through this stuff a bit more. So I think it's a good conversation, a good video to make on maybe why I don't seem just blatantly sleep last in such a like crackhead energy around just consume and play. Like I would even say like the channel, I still have some archetype of what this channel is like, that it's teaching on certain topics, and like it does feel like it brings a lot out of me. Like I wouldn't say draining, but like I'm still needing to navigate more that I can do YouTube with my play, with my more like discussion energy. And yeah, so I haven't gotten into like interviews yet or content with me and other people on the channel. So I would really love that. And I could see myself doing that in the near future. But yeah, my picture of it is like, I generally feel like, oh, my thoughts aren't very organized, what I'm going to talk about when I go to start a video. And then I think I need to really work on that and like design what it is. Like I need a sleep energy on it. Like what am I actually trying to say? What is the actual overview of this video? What do I want the audience to walk away with? All of that is not in my head naturally. Like I'm not doing that sleep processing. I'm just always consuming and making sense of it in my TI. I love consuming typology things. And then I blast when I see it's relevant to people. So yeah, like coaching comes way more natural to me than like teaching a class on something, or the organization that goes into creating curriculum, creating structure for, hey, we're going from point A to point Z, and this is the journey I want to take people on. I kind of just do that in the flow of the conversation with people. That comes much more natural to me. So yeah, that's much more play. That's much more like processing out loud. And when I look up, like the way I processed out loud was actually helpful to somebody. I'm like, oh, that's cool. But that was not sleep. Yeah, it's not even born out of sleep. It's born out of like just my consume and me. Let me make sure I'm saying that. Yeah, it's just out of my just tons and tons and tons of consume all the time that like I blasted from it. And as a SE Dom, like the NI, it just emerges from all the experiences I'm having. All the videos I'm consuming, like I have this like NI, and it's feminine NI too. So when I go to like consume or blast on it from sleep, I then feel like, have I really dialed that in or processed this specifically? And I have to sit back and like process on it. And a lot of times I've done this with music, like when I was on worship teams and stuff, I would just like sit back. It's the whole thing about a dark room. It helps me actually do sleep because it's not natural to me. But I'll turn off the lights, put headphones on, and just play something on repeat. Like if I'm gonna make a video on something, I'll make like so I have a MacBook, so I can do like a I forget what they call it, but it's like text to speech audio file, like in iTunes. And I can take my notes, turn it into an audio file, and like put it on my phone, and I'll just let like those couple minutes play over and over and over. And I'll just like let myself connect the dots and get a clearer NI for me to then teach from and blast from. So, you know, in a way, I feel like I've put that like pressure on myself that it has to be like that way. And it's not necessarily showing my consume play energy probably in the content that I've been making. And yeah, I think it brings the best out of me to be able to produce something like that too. I think people have sensed that my content has like, they're like, man, I get comments like this. Like, I can tell you really put a lot of work into this. Thank you. And genuinely, it has taken a lot to like, it's like me assimilating the INFJ side of myself really to blast, because as an ESTP, my blast is NF, and it's the bottom half of myself. So I'm very much savior SETI, and so I'm like really going in on NI and sleep processing, and then to blast with the FE, and to see that I'm really capturing people at their essence is still my goal in all that I do. But I do realize like if I'm just straight processing and I'm just straight just SETI with people, it can miss the why, it can miss the core, it can miss the essence. It can be like just describing some piece of it. And maybe I somewhat fear that whenever I do that, I will not encapsulate all that a type is, all that whatever topic I'm on. But I do realize I need to be comfortable with the way that I flow, which is to be able to just give what I have to give as it is. So yeah, so maybe this is an attempt in opening this topic for me to continue to just like click record and just go and to make content from this sort of place, and not always a super polished idea. And yeah, conclusion, an exact conclusion. So I think they're both good though. When I just think about growth for my type, as an ESTP, consume, play, blast, sleep person, it still does help me to work on that other side. Like the idea of like writing a book, writing something very specific, it's like, whoa, that's the other side of myself to do that, to conclude. All right, I like threw off the focus of my camera. There we go. But yeah, to conclude on like the order, the organization of it, like always like we'll have like a rough draft and then a rough draft and then edit. And it's like my TI gets more like technical on it. Like, oh, it needs to be tweaked, and then it needs to be tweaked, and then it can be reorganized. And I think that is still probably good in terms of editing, in terms of communication. Could I have communicated this better? But yeah, it's just a bit of insight into what it's like to be a double masculine ESTP. It's that feminine inner world, masculine outer world. So yeah, my NI is movable, my TI is movable. So what I'm seeing is moving, what I think is moving, and then communicating that. It's like the more experiences I have, the more crystallized that becomes, and it still feels like I'm just capturing and wanting to communicate. This is what it is right now. And then I'll consume more and learn more. And as I begin to talk to, say a real life type 9, a real life INTP, a real life it's like the image it moves around even more, and then it gets clearer and gets clearer. So, yeah. By the way, I really appreciate y'all's comments on the videos. I do take them to heart, and like they are encouraging. So yeah, not all comments I should take to heart. So in that regard, like the ones that I have gotten a lot of comments that is encouraging, just like they speak to the heart of which I'm speaking from, and how I approach to communicate the types to you guys, and what coaching the types looks like. But someone said that I have like an oracle level of like insight in the way I communicate the types, and I think that relates to how I'm wired. I think that's what it looks like to be double feminine on the inside, that it's like I'm always wanting to consume highly, always consume and play and get feedback from people. So it's two types of consuming almost, right? Play is with people. So it's always shaping and informing my TI and my NI, and it's always moving, and I'm getting a better picture, and I'm always wanting to get a clearer picture. So I guess the weakness of that side would be like, oh, I don't know enough. I need to like I need to absorb this type more into myself so that I can speak it back out. So yeah, I definitely value experiential experience of people, and to continue like being immersed in the different types that I can represent them well. So this video's topic again was about me being sleep last, and so in a sense I think I have described that. I am like incorporating sleep intentionally by adding it in systematically into my life. Like as I'm driving, I, instead of just like all out just starting conversations with people all the time, I'm like listening. I'm staying in a state of like waiting and just stillness and a place of love for myself. And it just helps me stay in alignment that like what I'm doing also it factors in sleep. It factors in, the relevance of my consume, and just finding that balance of myself and how I live. I think that's part of it too. What I got in my sleep energy to allow that to dictate what I'm consuming, what I'm putting my time into. 'Cause like, yeah, as a dominant consume person and SE first, I could have like a consuming addiction of just gathering. So letting what I've slept on and processed out for what I want in my life, where I'm wanting to go, and then like having the discipline and the follow through to tell my consume to operate within this area, and my play within this area. So it's like I've begun to major on sleep, and to not be addicted to consume and play alone, but I let myself consume and play within the realm of my sleep. So that's flipping it around, and keeping me on track. So, but yeah, but I do think a sign of sleep last in my life is how much I can just go and never get around to downtime. Like I can be moving 14 hours a day, and then the second I get home, I just want to be with my husband. I just want to like instantly, like we have dinner, I want to watch a show, I want to just go straight into socializing with him and play energy with him, and then until my body actually is like sleepy to the point that I fall asleep on the couch. So that's how my nights mostly end. It's like, okay, I need to go to sleep. I need to go to physical sleep because I need to get up the next morning to do all this over again, to take off and drive the next day. So, yeah. I'm not sure why my dog is barking, so, but he is. Let's see. But yeah, I guess that's all I got right now. I can make more content on this in the future. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. If you got value out of this, go and give me a thumbs up and subscribe for more content. I talk about all things Myers-Briggs, objective personality, the Enneagram, personality growth. I also offer life coaching and typing on my website, typologycorner.com. Links in the description below. And yeah, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.